Everyone at WPVI TV Channel 6.
This is an Action News AccuWeather Alert.
Hello, I'm Mark Howard. Oprah Winfrey will be along in just a couple of minutes, but first we want to update you on this latest storm which has hit the Delaware Valley, and there is the picture on City Line Avenue. Traffic out here moving fairly normally because this is a fairly busy street, but as you can see, there's a couple of inches of slush there. That's the situation right now. Before it's over, it could get worse. Let's go out to Dave Roberts, also on City Line Avenue, for the latest from AccuWeather. Dave?
Well, it is continuing to get worse. That deadly combination, could be deadly combination of freezing rain and sleet just continues. Action radar shows the system still continues to make its move, some coming from the west, some coming from the south. Lots of precipitation within it. Let's break it down as we continue to be kind of bogged down there in the mix line, right in between. You can see the snow to the north, and you can see the heavier rain to the south, so all that moisture still yet to come, and the colder air as temperatures continue to drop. For rush hour, it's going to be horrendous tonight. Freezing rain and ice, very slippery. The winds are now kicking up. The temperature has already dropped to 25 degrees, so it could be even a little bit colder than that in an hour or so. For tonight, AccuWeather says freezing rain and ice, then to change over to snow. The changeover time to start anytime between 9 and 11 p.m. The changeover to come northwest to southeast. You folks down at the shore probably won't see any snow until maybe about 3 or 4 in the morning. So the sleet continues at this hour, freezing rain, that combination, and it's just going to continue throughout the evening. The rush home, again, very, very difficult. We'll have the latest from Action Radar when we come back in just a few minutes. So be careful going home tonight. Mr. Mark?
Okay, Dave, now just to give you an idea how different this storm has been in different areas starting this morning, we have a couple of live reports right now. Kathy Gandolfo's in New Jersey on the left, David Murphy there in Abington. Let's go to Kathy first with the situation where it's a little bit warmer, less snow in New Jersey. Kathy?
Well, Mark, it may be a tad warmer, but I will tell you it is positively miserable out here. We have freezing rain. It continues to fall, and it is putting a slick glaze on just about everything. We are out here on Route 70. The rush hour is beginning to build. The traffic is moving here. However, it is slush covered, and the salt trucks have been by several times. Now, in driving around the area, we found workers trying hard to keep ahead of the ice in parking lots and at shopping centers and also on sidewalks. But as one snow removal businessman told me, it's almost a losing game today. They apply the salt and chemicals, the rain returns, washes it all away, and then it just freezes over again. So again, it is a miserable day. Roads like Route 70, Route 38, 295, the freeway, they have been treated. So the conditions are not great, but the traffic is moving. The side roads, well, you may have to forget about those for a while. They are going to be treacherous. Reporting live on the Action Cam from Cherry Hill, I'm Kathy Gandolfo.
Okay, Kathy, thanks very much. Now let's go to David Murphy up in Abington, where this morning you had a lot more snow, David, but you've had that sleet and rain all day too, haven't you?
That's right, and it's light sleet right now too, Mark. Route 611 coming up north out of the city and also heading down from Willow Grove toward the city. Traffic building here right now, as you can see, and very slow going, although right now anyway, in the early stages of rush hour, traffic is getting through. We have sort of a slushy mixture on the road, some blacktop showing through, but of course as that sleet falls, it could potentially become more and more treacherous as the evening goes on, especially as the traffic builds as well. Keep a good distance between you and the person in front of you on the way home tonight, Mark. David Murphy live with the Action Cam, Abington.
Thank you, David. Before we leave you, let's take one real quick look right now at I-95 down by the Philadelphia International Airport, where traffic is moving along at this hour, but it's moving fairly slowly. You can see it right there. Left to right is I-95. That's the Platt Memorial Bridge straight ahead. Traffic there moving very slowly. Those bridges are icy. They're going to stay that way through the evening as it gets colder. And, of course, more snow is coming. And it's a pretty sad day, a tough day around the Delaware Valley. But that is the latest on the winter storm. We'll have more coming up on Action News at 5. We'll join Oprah Winfrey now. We'll see you later.
Central Florida, we had 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts knocking down trees and power lines this morning, and in Live Oak, a large oak tree came down in Suwannee County. Now the storm's moving off the coast in Florida. Let's check that forecast now for tomorrow morning. Low pressure will consolidate south of Cape Cod.
Cleveland area for early tonight, as snows are falling at about 1 inch per hour and winds are gusting from the northeast as high as 40 to 50 miles per hour. Here's our storm. It's had a rather checkered past. We've had snow reports of 4 inches in Oklahoma City. KC around the city itself really dodged a bullet. You might have had 1 inch. That's about it. Chicago south side had a little bit, but the north side, virtually none. Cleveland, on the other hand, getting hit hard. Indianapolis getting hit hard. Even the St. Louis area picking up 5 to 6 inches. Check out some of the tallies. There's Indy at 8 inches, Cleveland at 7, Fort Wayne 6. A lot of ice fell prior to that too. St. Louis 5, State College in western PA 4, Princeton, New Jersey 4 on the northeast corridor there, up off of Route 1, and that snow is going to get a lot heavier this evening, and New York picking up 2 inches. Now the call for the snow. Again, this is our old forecast. Well, the new one out pretty shortly. I think we're going to cut it back a little bit. It looks like around the city itself we should see about 8 to maybe 10 inches of snow, and probably a little more in some of the higher elevations, maybe around Harriman State Park, up into Rockland and Westchester County. Southern Connecticut, southern Rhode Island could get hit pretty hard as well. These areas may very well see a foot of snow. Down through Philadelphia, probably around 4 to 6 inches. Baltimore, Washington, probably a couple of inches, but a lot of ice underneath that. And this snow in the forecast for Indiana and western Ohio should just be for the next 3 to 5 hours, and then it should taper down very quickly around the Dayton and also Cincinnati area. Along with that, we have a coastal flood warning and gale warnings up. There's your gale warning from the Merrimack River all the way down to Fenwick Island, including all the Jersey Shore and the Long Island South Shore, as well as Cape Cod. In addition, we have the coastal flood warning. I believe that is now a warning for the New York City area for tonight into the day on Wednesday. This is a watch farther up to about the Merrimack River, which is the border with New Hampshire. Let's show you what's going on in the upper atmosphere. The low is starting to take shape. Or to the north of New York, the snow is picking up. Atlantic City getting some freezing rain and sleet. Philadelphia, snow, freezing rain and sleet. Still some freezing rain here in the Amish country out by Coatesville and Reading, and also out through Lancaster. Baltimore, quite a bit of ice, and also down to Washington, D.C. North of New York, this is all snow around the Tappan Zee Bridge, up into Fairfield County, Connecticut, around the Westport area, New Haven, all the way to Newport. That snow is getting a little heavier. More snow is back in the southern tier of New York. And here's the mother lode. This is a steady, heavy snowfall from the Susquehanna Valley all the way out to Cleveland, Ohio. That's going to ride to the east overnight tonight. And again, want to emphasize, the next 4 to 5 hours, snow will fall possibly at the rate of 1 inch per hour, maybe a little better around New York City. The only trump card here will be if there's some sleet or freezing rain thrown in. Needless to say, travel not recommended along Interstate 95. We'll update travel weather next.
This is about its radar. Not much happening in the west weather-wise. We do see plenty of weather occurring with our one area low pressure moving from Kentucky into North Carolina. A second area low pressure is forming off of the Virginia Capes, and that is going to bring lots of snow, freezing rain, and sleet. In fact, the whole mix from New York southward to Baltimore, Philadelphia, across Pennsylvania, eventually heading into Boston. Latest radar of the area showing where we have the snow coming into around New York City, although at Islip, some very heavy sleet mixing in with the snow. Over to Philadelphia, snow, sleet, freezing rain. Baltimore, you're looking at some sleet and freezing rain. Likewise, down to around Washington, a similar scenario. Plenty of ice across the Amish country. If you're heading up 83, maybe up 81 or across 78, it's going to be rough through tonight. Coming up next, much more about this storm.